Happy New Year, viewers, and welcome to Sports File on ABN TV 15.9. I am Sam. As we roll into the year 2016, the past year 2015 was an interesting year for sports lovers at large. From Nigerian Golden Eaglet winning the FIFA Under-17 World Cup for a record of 5 times, to the Nigerian men's basketball team, the Tigers, winning the FIBA African Basketball Championship for the first time. And also, don't forget FIFA widespread corruption, which was exposed. Remember Deflategate that rocked the NFL and Super Bowl 49 with Tom Brady and New England Patriots. We also look at stories coming from boxing as Vladimir Klitschko was beaten for the first time in 11 years. And remember that fight of the century featuring Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. We'll talk about that too. And also, I will look into the fixtures of the knockout stage of UEFA Champions League plus the draws for the Euro 2016 Championship. So don't go nowhere, because Sports 5 will be right back with many of those. Welcome back to the program. The year 2015 was an eventful year for sports lovers. At the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, which was hosted in Chile, Nigerian Golden Eaglet won that tournament, and they became the country with the highest number of wins in the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, winning it for a record of 5 times. From star striker Victor Osimhen goal-scoring prowess to the team captain Kelechi Nwakali's leadership role, the team wowed all soccer lovers with their unique style of soccer artistry. With that victory, Nigeria has won the FIFA Under-17 World Cup for a record of 5 times. The team scored a total of 23 goals and conceded only 5 goals. What a record for the Nigerian Golden Eaglet. Alright, still on those sporting news that shook 2015, the Nigerian men's basketball team, the Tigers, won for the first time the FIBA African Basketball Championship, which also served as the qualifiers for the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio, Brazil. Remember, Chamberlain Oguchi was the MVP of that tournament, and for them to win that basketball championship, they beat their rivals Angola in the finals. That tournament took place in Tunisia from the 19th to the 30th of August in 2015. We are still talking about those sports news that shook the world in 2016. Now let's look at FIFA widespread corruption, which was exposed. On May the 27th, 2015, in the early hours of that day, FBI agent raided a luxury hotel in Zurich, Switzerland, and arrested 7 FIFA officials for widespread corruption. According to U.S. Justice Department, this is part of the investigation into a widespread corrupt practices in FIFA. Those arrested on that May 27th raid at dawn were Jeffrey Webb, FIFA Vice President and President of CONCACAF of North Central and Caribbean Football Association. He is also the chairman of Cayman Island Football Association. Eugenio Figueiredo, he was the president of Uruguayan Football Association, and he was once the president of CONMEBOL, of South American Football Federation. Also arrested on that raid was Jack Warner, former FIFA Vice President and former president of CONCACAF. He resigned from his position in all international football activities in 2011. Another FIFA official who was also arrested on that raid at dawn was Eduardo Lee, president of Costa Rican Football Association. Also arrested was Julio Roca, who was the president of Nicaraguan Football Association. Also in that mess was Costas Tekas, who was the Secretary General of Cayman Island Football Association also arrested was Nicholas Lewis, who was the former president of CONMEBOL. He was also arrested in that raid. Even though the then president of FIFA, Sepp Blatter, was not arrested, he was later banned for 90 days, and it was later upgraded to 8 years ban because of the shady deals he had with UEFA president Michel Platini, who is also serving 8 years ban from all football-related activities. So FIFA widespread corruption was really exposed in the year 2015, and we have the acting FIFA president now in the name of Issa Hayatou, who is the CAF president. And remember, come February, FIFA will host their emergency congress, which will elect new president for the World Football Governing Body. After FIFA corruption was exposed, here comes the floodgate. If you are a lover of NFL, you will remember Deflategate, which had Tom Brady and New England Patriots in that mess. After the AFC Championship game, in which New England Patriots blew away Indianapolis Colts 45-7 to qualify to the Super Bowl 49, allegations surfaced that the balls used by New England Patriots were not inflated to the NFL standard. The NFL announced on May 11, 2015, that it will suspend New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady for 4 games of the upcoming 2015 regular season for his alleged part in that scandal. After NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell upheld the suspension in an internal hearing, the matter was moved to federal court, and Judge Richard Berman vacated that order of Roger Goodell suspending Tom Brady for 4 games. And look at what he said. He said, and I'll quote, "The requisite of fairness and due process were missing from the process leading to the imposition of that penalty." And with that statement, it vacated the 4-game suspension of Tom Brady, which made him eligible to play for New England Patriots starting the 2015 regular season. And know what? New England Patriots are in the playoff in the AFC Championship. All right, we'll take a short break. When we return, we'll still give you more sporting news that shook 2015. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, welcome back to Sports File. I am Sam. We are still looking at those sporting headlines that shook 2015, and we shift now to boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao was billed to be the fight of the century, even though the fight grossed a total of $600 million. Will you say that fight lived up to its hype? That mega box fight was held on May 2nd, 2015 at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And as everybody wanted, Floyd Mayweather Jr. won that bout in an unanimous decision, beating Manny Pacquiao. Mayweather had one more fight against Andre Berto, and he retired after that fight in 2015. And he equaled Rocky Marciano 49 fight unbeaten. Can you beat that record? 49-0. But I think that fight, that fight of that magnitude, if you ask me, I would say it should have held on a neutral ground. Let's take a look at some of the epic fights that took place in boxing history. Talking about Rumble in the Jungle, where Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Ali knocked out George Foreman in that fight that was held in Congo, Kinshasa. Also, Thriller in Manila, another epic fight between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. What happened? It ended in a technical knockout by Muhammad Ali. So, if you ask me, Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao should have held in a neutral ground so that sports fans, boxing fans around the world could have seen that fight from a different angle. but the fight was held at MGM Grand Arena, and Mayweather won that fight to go 48, and he won his 49th fight against Andrea Berto. Still on boxing, Vladimir Klitschko was beaten for the first time in 11 years. This took place in 2015. And who beat him? A British heavyweight boxer by name Tyson. Not Mike Tyson, but Tyson Fury. He won that fight in an also unanimous decision to win the WBA, the WBO, the IBC heavyweight belt. So it was a shift in paradigm from the Klitschko brothers to Tyson Fury. Remember, the Klitschko brothers dominated the heavyweight division for more than a decade. They also, remember, they beat Nigerian Nightmare, former heavyweight boxing champion Samuel Peters, to still retain that title. But now, that title is in the hand of a British boxer, Tyson Fury. All right, on that note, we come to the end of those sporting news that shook 2015. As we roll into 2016, we are expecting more interesting stuff to happen in the world of sports. And as they happen, we document them, because come the end of 2016, we will look back and bring to our viewers those sporting news that shook 2016. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back with more news on Sports 5. All right, so welcome back to Sports File. We are talking about every news coming from the world of sports. Remember, you can also be part of this program via online. Just tweet at us at SportsFile247. Follow all the live feed that we put out there whenever any major sporting news break or any major sporting activity is going on. Right now, let's go to the UEFA Champions League knockout stage draws that we have made past weeks. We will look at those games that will come up come February 16th and February the 17th. Paris Saint-Germain up against Chelsea. Last season, these two teams met in the quarterfinal, and it was the French team that got the better part of Chelsea, with David Luiz, a former centre-back for Chelsea, scoring one of the goals at Stamford Bridge. So the two teams are meeting again after that last season slug out. Who will make it to the quarterfinal? PSG versus Chelsea. Another interesting matchup that will come up in that knockout stage will be SL Benfica versus Zenit St. Petersburg. Remember, in the group stage, Zenit were perfect. They won all their 6 games in that group stage. Now they're about to meet the club from Portugal. Will they progress to the quarterfinal of UEFA Champions League? 180 minutes rather, will tell us. Another game that will come up on February 17th, 2016 will be Ghent versus Wolfsburg, and AS Roma up against 10 times champions Real Madrid. Will Rafa Benitez still be Madrid coach to take them to that game against AS Roma? We'll learn that one in the coming days. And the following week, February the 23rd, another round of knockout stage games will take place. Arsenal versus their nemesis, FC Barcelona. Remember, 2006, when Arsenal played the finals, they could have won it, but the duo of Samuel Eto'o and Giuliano Belletti denied Arsene Wenger and his Arsenal team, led by Thierry Henry, that UEFA Champions League title. And after that 2006, they have met in series of knockout stage games, and the story remained the same. Barcelona keep knocking Arsenal out. This time around, they are going to meet again. Arsenal versus FC Barcelona. And the second game of that 23rd will be PSV Eindhoven versus Atletico Madrid. Remember, Atletico Madrid were in the finals and they lost that game to Real Madrid when it was all Spanish affairs. And Dynamo Kiev versus Manchester City. So after these first leg matches, the return leg matches will take place. Then we will know who is poised to reach the quarterfinal of UEFA Champions League. Alright, and let's look at the fixtures or the draws for the Euro 2016, because that draws has been made. France will host Euro 2016 and the draws was made. Let's look at the group. Who and who we are grouped together. In Group A, we have Albania, we have France, we have Romania, we have Switzerland. In Group B, we have England, we have Wales, we have Slovakia, and we have Russia. In Group C, we have Germany, we have Northern Ireland, we have Poland, we have Ukraine. If you look, you will look at the groups and tell me what you think. Who will be able to come out from the groups after the round robin games of the group stage will decide who will make it to the knockout stage of UEFA Euro 2016. All right, on that note, now we take a short break. When I return, we will take a look at the topsy-turvy nature of the 2015-2016 English Premier League. Don't go nowhere. Sports File will be right back.
Not being a weekend that you can say, okay, we're going to this weekend, and you predict.
Stay tuned and listen to Sports File weekdays with Sam Houston. It's 30 minutes of amazing news from the world of soccer, basketball, the NFL, athletics, and many more. Sports File is a production of First November Media. For sponsorship details, please call 832-614-7717. It's Sports File with Sam Houston. Stay tuned.
Hello viewers, join me on Sports File every Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Time on ABN TV 15.9, Houston, Texas. I am Sam. You're welcome back to the program. It's still Sports File on ABN TV 15.9 here in Houston, Texas. And my name is still Sam. I'll be holding it down here every Sunday by 2 p.m. Central Time. I'll be giving you all the latest information coming from the world of sports. Now, let's look at the topsy-turvy nature of this season English Premier League. From Louis van Gaal, crucial games against each opposition, to Liverpool third for tilt. Here are the 10 questions ahead of the rest of 19 games in the Barclays Premier League. After Manchester United fell to their fourth straight defeat of the season, on Boxing Day, Louis van Gaal, the Dutchman, has every game to save his job. Do you think the Dutchman will get the job at Old Trafford? Looking at the coaches that have been sacked this season, from Brendan Rodgers to Jose Mourinho to Dick Advocaat, who is next to lose his job because of strings of poor results? Will it be Louis van Gaal? No one can tell. Because after that defeat to Stoke City, he said that instead of being sacked, that he will resign. But after the team drew goalless with Chelsea, he said there's no reason to resign his position at Old Trafford, that he can turn things around. Even the players came out and said that they have the backing of Louis van Gaal. But result on the field will speak for itself when the team starts winning games. Right now, Manchester United have dropped out of top 4 on the table. They are tied on point 30 with Liverpool, who beat Sunderland 1-0 on Wednesday. If results did not improve at Old Trafford, do you think the Dutchman will be fired? We don't know. The hierarchy at Old Trafford will tell us. At Anfield, will Jurgen Klopp admit that Liverpool are pushing for a top 4 finish after Liverpool inflicted the second season defeat to Leicester City in Boxing Day? The team went ahead to beat Sunderland 1-0 at the Stadium of Light on Wednesday, and they are tied on point with Manchester United 30 after 19 games. Do you think after that victory at Stadium of Light, the charismatic German Jurgen Klopp, do you think he will aim high to push Liverpool to finish top 4? Liverpool will travel to Upton Park to play West Ham next week. That game will decide if Liverpool top 4 ambition is realistic. Can Arsenal prove to their supporters that they won't blow the title chance once again? When Liverpool defeated Leicester City 1-0 at Anfield, the stage was set for Arsenal to beat Southampton to top the league. But lo and behold, Arsenal were trashed 1, 2, 3, 4 goals to nothing at St. Mary's. To Arsenal fans, it was a deja vu because they will feel we've seen this scenario before. They had a chance to top, but they blew it, losing out of that 3 points. But right now, if you look at the table, Arsenal are currently joint top with Leicester City after 19 games. Will Arsenal sustain the momentum going into the new year, or in this new year that we are in already? We have 19 games to the end of the season. Can Arsene Wenger invest in the January transfer window that just opened to boost his squad to win the title? We don't know. Wenger has antecedent of not making any new signing when he feels things are going his way. But at the end of the day, Arsenal will end up finishing top 4, which I would say is their trophy. And the trophy will go to somewhere else. Leaving Arsenal now to Etihad, Manchester City. They've had a topsy-turvy, inconsistent season, winning here and there, losing here and there. Now, Manchester City are third on the log. Do you think Manuel Pellegrini has what it takes to sustain Man City momentum in this new year? Even though the club captain Vincent Kompany will be out for a month, without him, Manchester City look ordinary at the back. With the combination of Mangala and Otamendi, the team has shipped in more goals than when they had Kompany. So let's look at the fixtures for this weekend in the English Premier League. On Sunday, being today, Crystal Palace will host Chelsea at Sandhurst Park. Chelsea's season is almost over because the team is languishing below 10th on the table. And that was the reason why Chelsea coach Jose Mourinho was fired after that team lost their game to Leicester City. He was fired. And guess who came on board? Gus Hiddink. Gus Hiddink has been a stopgap coach for Chelsea. Remember the last time a coach was fired at Stamford Bridge? He came on board and he won the FA Cup for Chelsea. He finished top 4 with Chelsea and he reached the Champions League semi-final. This time around, Roman Abramovich called on his stopgap coach, Gus Hiddink, to take over after he fired the controversial one, Jose Mourinho. Chelsea played goalless with Manchester United at Old Trafford. They traveled to Sandhurst Park to play Crystal Palace. And on that same day, Everton will host Tottenham Hotspur at Goodison Park. Spurs has been on the rise. They have the momentum right now. They went and beat Watford at Vicarage Park. 2-1 it ended. Do you think Mauricio Pochettino's team has what it takes to win the title? We don't know. Spurs this season remind me of Brendan Rodgers' Liverpool in his second season, when Liverpool led the Premier League to the extent that they needed just 3 games to win the Premier League title. And they imploded with that game against Chelsea at Anfield, losing 2-0. And they went to Crystal Palace. They were leading 3-0 and they drew 3-3 after 90 minutes. thereby ending Brendan Rodgers' title aspiration at Liverpool before things went south for him. So this time around, Spurs, with Harry Kane as the leading scorer, is pushing for the title. Do you think Spurs can win it? Nobody knows, because Premier League is very, very unpredictable. Another game you should look forward to will be Aston Villa. Aston Villa has been dreadful this season. They are currently rock bottom in the English Premier League, and they are destined for relegation. Manchester United will travel to Newcastle to play Newcastle on the 12th of January 2016. If they cannot win that game, I think that may be where Louis van Gaal may lose his job. Another game you should look forward to will be Swansea versus Sunderland. Sunderland are also destined for relegation. They lost to Liverpool, and they've not been impressive with Sam Allardyce replacing Dick Advocaat. His sole aim is to keep the Black Cat in the Premier League. Time will tell if he will reach his target. And Liverpool will play West Ham United at Upton Park. That game will determine if Jurgen Klopp and his Red Army has what it takes to finish top 4. Now let's take a look at the Premier League table. Arsenal are top after 19 games, 30 points. After 19 games, 39 points, I beg your pardon. And Leicester are currently second, joint top with Arsenal on 39 points. Manchester City are third on the table. You have order of Spurs, Manchester United, and Liverpool. The point difference between Liverpool and the fourth team is 5 points, which is 2 games. If Spurs couldn't get a victory in the upcoming games and Liverpool were able to get a win, Liverpool may topple United and jump into 5th position. To tell you how unpredictable the Premier League is, a whole lot of teams drop points here and there. Looking at the rock bottom, Aston Villa are rock bottom in the Premier League table. And 8 points from 19 games? Seriously? That team is destined for relegation. And there they will go down to the Championship. Premier League table keep fluctuating. So after these weekend games, we might see another team topping. But Leicester City has shown that they fear no team. They drew goalless with Manchester City on their home turf. And that was a title statement from Claudio Ranieri's men. With Jamie Vardy and Reyes Mahrez scoring, I don't see Leicester dropping out of top 4. Even if they drop out, Leicester will never go on relegation. They have cemented their Premier League status for next season. And on that note, we come to the end of today's edition of Sports File. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me again next week Sunday as I bring to you all the latest information coming from the world of sports. And don't forget, you can be a part of this show. It's very simple. Just go to our Twitter feed at SportsFile247. Tweet at us your memorable sporting activity of 2015. And you have a chance of winning Nigerian Super Eagles jersey in this show. Or better still, you can text us at 832-614-7717. Fastest finger, the first to send his text message will win that Super Eagles jersey. Until I see you again, remain blessed.